What is up, guys? Team Yugi Feels here with a deck profile, and today we're going to be going over my all-time favorite deck, which is Burning Abyss. So this is not a block BA variation. This is like your typical like 2014, 2015 heavy back row Burning Abyss deck. This deck is a lot of fun. I've always enjoyed playing this, and I always feel like there's like different ways to find your way around playing it. There's a million different cards that you can use for back row, but that's the fun about it, is that because there's so much back row to pick from, it gives you a wide variety of options that you can play. So I'm going to hop right into this and show you guys what I'm playing. So 3 Farfa is really important. You kind of have to max out on this card because it's one of your main interruptions that is not a back row card. So having that main interruption is very helpful, being able to have monster removal kind of on point whenever you need it. Just because you can dump it off Beatrice, you can set it off certain trap cards like Fiend Griefing. So it's got multiple uses, which is really nice. 3 Skarm. Skarm is, it's okay. It's not my favorite BA, don't get me wrong. I've contemplated cutting one of it out, but it's just, it's too good being able to search during each end phase. And for the 1-ofs, we play 1 Barbar, 1 Seer, 1 Calcab, 1 Libic, 1 Alec, and 1 Graph. These are all the 1-ofs. If I were to cut 1 Skarm, I would end up putting a second Libic in, because 2 Libic does come up semi-frequently, and it's just a really good card overall. But usually, like when you're side decking, if you're going to side deck out any of the BAs, it's either Alec or Calcab, depending on the matchup. But that's obviously dependent on what you're playing against. Then we play basically our pseudo Burning Abyss monster, so 3 Fiendish Rhino Warrior. This card basically counts as a BA because of his effect. Just overall, this is a really powerful card, and when it's sent to graveyard, you can send a Fiend from your deck to grave, which is also really useful. 2 Tour Guide. I'm missing my second ulti. I have to order one. I just haven't had the time to order one. I've been so busy ordering other stuff and trying to keep myself situated during the whole virus situation going on right now, that I just haven't had time to order a second tour guide. But that's okay. I'm just busy shipping my own online orders out and picking other stuff up. So it's unfortunately the nature of things. And then we play 2 Backjack. This card is just really solid overall because you're playing a good amount of trap cards, and even if you like don't hit a trap card off of its banish effect, you'll probably hit a BA, and that's equally as good because you're probably going to get some sort of effect that can interrupt your opponent, which is awesome. Then the only other monster that we play is 3 Ash. This is fairly standard. I think every deck should be running at least 3 Ash or some sort of interruption. It could be Ash, it could be evenly. You have to have something that lets you interact with your opponent. You can't just play Yu-Gi-Oh, quote unquote, because it doesn't work that way. But that's all for the monsters. Moving on to the spells. I'm playing 3 Called By and 1 Foolish. So I think this is a really, really good ratio of spell cards to play. You don't have to play more than this. I just think Call By is really good with the number of hand traps and graveyard effects that are going around. Anything you can do to interrupt your opponent's graveyard is definitely a good bet. So Called By is a very, very solid choice. And the fact that it's a quick play spell is also kind of nice too. And then Foolish Burial is pretty obvious. You're playing BA. I shouldn't have to explain that one too much. Then moving on to the traps, we play 3 Fiend Griefing. This is one of the best cards in the format, I think, and it's definitely a card that people are sleeping on. But the problem is that not many people are playing decks that have a lot of Fiends in them, so playing it in BA is almost exclusive to the deck. But being able to interrupt your opponent's graveyard and shuffle cards from their graveyard back into the deck is very, very solid. So being able to utilize a card like that frequently is definitely a positive. Then we play 3 Karma Cut. This is very useful against a lot of graveyard decks as well. The reason that I say that is that if they have multiple copies in their graveyard and then on the field, you get to banish multiple cards, which is really, really solid. Karma Cut overall is just an amazing card, and I think with Eldritch running around, it makes it even better. Then we have 3 Paleozoic Dynamiscus, more removal for cards that are face up on the field, which is awesome. You want to be able to have those cards for removal. And this can actually come up sometimes where it can either help you link climb or it can help prevent you from getting OTK'd. So like if another trap card is activated, you can just summon this from your graveyard, and definitely helps out in the long run being able to do that. because you have no idea how many times you can just keep climbing and climbing and climbing with that card. Then I play 3 evenly in the main deck. This is the other interaction piece in case I'm like forced to go second. Evenly is really, really solid, and on top of that, you can also set an evenly off of a trap trick, which is just as crazy as it sounds. It's one of the best plays that you can do sometimes, and being able to do that, sometimes your opponent will just like look at it and they'll go, oh, end battle phase, and then you flip the trap trick and they just kind of cry because they don't know what to do at that point. So 3 evenly, and then as I mentioned, the trap trick, we are playing 3 of it. The card's just too good not to play 3 of. Seeing every card in the main deck that's a trap for the most part is a normal trap. The only one that is not is Imperial Order, which we play the 1 of, because being able to cut off spell cards is just a positive in this format for sure. But that is the main deck. I believe it's 42 cards. I've been trying to get it to 40, but the problem is I'd probably have to cut Called by the Grave, and I don't want to do that. So I like 42, and it's BA, so you're milling stuff. So having a higher card count is okay. It doesn't really hurt you. It probably benefits you more if you're grinding really, really far into the game. But we'll move on to the extra deck now. We are playing, of course, the God card himself, 3 Dante. My personal favorite card ever created in the entire game. I cannot express enough how fun it is summoning Dante over and over and over again. I've been doing it since they first announced the archetype, and I'll keep doing it forever. It's just my favorite card. I just never profile the deck because I've played it so much that I don't want to show people how much I've played it. It's just one of those decks where I just kind of keep it a secret for a while until somebody asks about it. Then we play the 1 Levier. This comes up fairly frequently. You can summon your Backjack off of this, and then you can link this in the Backjack for something, and then you can get Backjack's effect, which is really good. The 1 Beatrice, I think that this card is eligible to come to more than 1 from the ban list at some point in the future. I don't see a reason for this card to be at 1 anymore. It's not as overpowered as it was when it came out back in 2016. It's actually reasonable now more than anything. So playing 1 Beatrice for now is all we can do, but I'm hoping we can do more in the future. I do play the 1 Pilgrim. This card is very situational. It doesn't come up often, but when it does, it can really be a blowout sometimes. A lot of people don't expect you to summon this card, so when you summon it, it's just really, really solid. Then we'll move on to the Link monsters here. We play 1 Gravity Controller. Being able to summon a Dante does grant you immediate access to Gravity Controller, which is pretty nice. And this card overall is just really solid. It's one of those cards that I think people are going to randomly play in certain decks, which is always fun. We play the 1 Cherubini. As great as this card is, it doesn't come up as often in this list. In like the block BA list, it comes up a lot, and then PK Fire, it also comes up a lot. Which, if you guys want to see like a PK Fire list, let me know, and I can put one together. A block BA list I can do. I just don't like the way that it runs without Glow Up Bulb. So I'm 50-50 on posting anything like that. But if you guys want to see a PK Fire list, let me know in the comment section down below, and I can definitely do that. But Cherubini is pretty cool. 1 Masquerena. If you open up Tour Guide is a 1-card Masquerena Beatrice combo, which is really nice, being able to pop off like that. So having a combo like that in your arsenal, where you have the option on your opponent's turn to gain 1,000,000 interruptions, just it's kind of nice. It just gives you that sense of relief of, okay, I have multiple interruptions. Then the generic Link stuff here, the Nightmare package of Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. I think that this is just a really good engine overall. There are also times where, like, you have to make Unicorn, and then you end on, like, let's say you end on Masquerena and Unicorn on the field. Then you can just do the Masquerena with the Unicorn and make, like, Cerberus if you have to, or some of the other cards that I'm going to get to next. So having all these isn't just good for your turn, but it can be good for your opponent's turn too. Then I do play the Trisbana and the Zerboros. So these cards are really solid right now because of decks like Eldritch and Adamancipator. Basically anything that puts a lot of cards on the field. If you can make either of these monsters, genuinely you can secure victory, depending on the matchup. Obviously, if you're playing against like Eldritch, making your Trisbana is just going to be really good because getting rid of all their back row and burning them at the same time is really nice, really nice. And the Zerboros being able to banish everything on the field is just a bonus. And a lot of decks not only rely on the graveyard, they do a lot of banishing. So having the Boros here actually benefits in that instance too, because you can do banishing with your deck and your opponent can probably do banishing, and that'll just keep boosting him in addition to his own effect to banish the field. Then the last card is Borreload Dragon. I'm not playing Boral Sword. I've recently grown to dislike Boral Sword, and I can't remember if I said it in my Necros deck profile or not. I think I did. I'm finding that a lot of times, all the decks in the current meta, you can't OTK with Boral Sword. Boral Sword is supposed to be an OTK card, but with decks running around that just kind of like stall you out and kind of break your plays apart, it makes it difficult for Boral Sword to be relevant. So I actually like Borreload more. And on top of that, with Orcus being an upcoming contender, Boral Sword doesn't do as much. I'd rather do Borreload and steal like their Dingirsu and keep playing from there, which just gives you really, really broken plays. But that is the extra deck. We will move on to the side deck. As I always preface in all of my videos, the side deck is just something I'm testing currently, but it is what I personally am finding to be probably the best variation of this side deck for BA. So we have 3 Sphere Mode. We need to play 3 of this because against heavy combo decks that end on those big end boards, you have to be able to tribute some stuff in your opponent's field. That way you can actually play the game, and having the Sphere Mode is definitely worth it. I do play 2 Gamseel. This is more so for decks like Salad and Eldritch, where you just have to really like get rid of one monster. If you can Kaiju their Golden Lord and they don't have anything to summon it from deck during your turn, then you can probably push through most of their field, which is really nice. It's just kind of nice being able to break your opponent's field apart with a Kaiju. Then we play 1 Pankratops. This card's just generically good. I feel like I don't have to ever explain Pankratops. People just understand why it's a side deck most of the time. Then I play, I'm testing this right now, I'm testing 3 Dark Ruler. It's good, but because I'm playing the Sphere Mode, I'm kind of iffy on it, but I still think it's a really solid choice. With that being said, if you want to swap it out for something, I would say play Witch's Strike because it's a normal trap, and you can just use Trap Trick to get the Witch's Strike set, and then you could just completely blow up your opponent's field, which is pretty cool. So either Dark Ruler or Witch's Strike, whatever you prefer. I actually have to order some Witch's Strikes. I don't have any, so I'm going to pick those up too. Then we have 3 Solemn Judgment. This card's just really good when you know you can go first. Just being able to side this in, because your opponent's probably going to know you're playing like the heavy trap BA lineup, and they might side in Evenlies. So being able to flip Judgment on Evenly is just, it's broken. It's so broken. Your opponent doesn't even know what to do at that point. And then more back row removal, we have the Heavy Storm Duster. This card just gets you where you need to be, and the fact that it's a normal trap and you can just Trap Trick it makes it even better, because your opponent is going to go end phase and you're going to go, okay, that's fine, and then Heavy Storm Duster with the Trap Trick, or you'll just have it overall without the Trap Trick, and you can just kind of obliterate at least half of their back row at the minimum if they have 2 or more cards. So that's always a bonus too. But that is the last card in the side deck. It should be 15. It's, like I said, just what I'm testing right now for the side deck. As I said, you can kind of interchange the Dark Rulers with Witch's Strikes, or if you don't play some other like Floodgates, like Anti-Spell or something like that, by all means go for it. There are plenty of options that you can do, and that's one of the nice benefits of it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below that you enjoyed it. Also, in addition to that, I'd like to thank everyone who has subscribed recently. You guys are really helping me out. I think we hit 291 subscribers, so we're just 9 subscribers away from that 300 mark, which I want to hit by the end of this month, which I know we can. 9 subscribers by the end of May. It's easy. Everyone's already inside. You're watching YouTube all day. Just smash that subscribe button, send the video to your friends. Once again, it's much appreciated. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As per usual, I love recording these and helping you guys out. But I will talk to you guys soon, and for right now, that is Team Yugi Feels signing out.